What's up, deep thinkers? It's Robert from Existence First. And what I want to talk to you about today is a model that we can use to make sense of a situation, or to make sense of how we feel in a situation that is causing a lot of emotional turmoil. Okay, let's start by dividing this board into two halves, internal and external. So some things in life are internal, like your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. Those are all private to you. People cannot access those really. Okay, but you might be feeling happy and then you might smile as a result. That smile is external because everybody can see that. That's like public information. Okay, so first of all, shout out to Arash Dibazar. It's from him that I started to think of things in terms of internal, external. Now what I've done is I've taken that and I'm going to add to this model. I'm going to create 4 quadrants here, and then we're going to apply this with the concept of cause and effect. So if we also divide top and bottom to internal and external, then we have 4 possible combinations here. If this axis signifies cause and this axis is effect, then we have 4 possibilities. You could have something on the external causing something on the internal. You have something on the internal causing internal, internal external, and external causing external. Let's go over 4 examples. So something on the external causes something internal. Could be someone compliments you. Someone gives you a compliment, and internally you feel very good as a result. So something on the external just created an internal feeling for you. So that's right here, because external is affecting internal. So that's this quadrant right here. Okay. Let's say you're watching a sports game, okay, and the home team scores a goal, and that's something on the external. Everybody else you observe stands up and cheers. That would be something else that's external. So here you have something external that happened, a goal was scored. The result, something on the external, everybody's jumping up and cheering. All right. This quadrant, internal, controls internal. So that would be like something, what would be something negative here? It would be like if something bad happens and then you tell yourself, this is not exactly a setback, this is actually an opportunity. So you've just changed something internally, you've changed your own cognition, and as a result now you feel better about this, what initially was making you feel bad. All right? So now you can see that some of these squares start to happen in sequence. Something, you might hear bad news, external, now you feel bad, but then you reframe it internally, that then changes your internal reaction to it. Then, let's say you calm yourself, right? By reframing it, now you feel a little bit more positive. Now your internal state of positivity can go start causing effects in your environment. And you carry that internal positivity into your environment, guaranteed it will cause certain effects. The last square we haven't talked about, oh no, we did talk about that one. Okay, so we've covered all of them, okay? And these could happen positively or negatively, right? You could have something negative happen, negative would be death of a loved one. Something that happened outside of you is causing a negative reaction inside of you, right? So whatever situation that you're in, if we start to chop it apart, dissect it this way, it's going to make you feel differently about it. Again, you could have positive also. You could have somebody compliment you, and now you feel good about yourself. Okay. Each one of these actually could be positive or negative. But here's the key. Okay. These squares are not all created equal. In other words, they're some of them are better than others. They get different results, that is. In this square, things are good. Life is good as long as the environment is being nice to you. How often does that come up now? How often do you start to suffer as soon as your environment stops being nice to you? The only problem is we don't really have control over whether the environment is good to us or not, right? So in this square, we are at the mercy and the whim of our environments. That's fine as long as we really, really control our environments. I know people that live some very, very predictable lives that encounter very few challenges on a daily basis, and they live fairly comfortably, right? However, that's not the way that I want to live. I don't know if that's the way you want to live either. And besides, it gives way too much control to the external, in my opinion. Okay. So here, this one, we want to spend as little time as possible in that square. The other squares, well, this one, who really cares? I mean, outside stuff is going to be affecting outside stuff all the time. Now these two, these are pretty significant because internal affects internal. Now, when in the day are you able to use some sort of internal process to then cause an effect in your internal state? That would be the key. That's what I use all the time. That's how I try to spin things around. And there's actually 100% control right there. Well, the potential for 100% control if you want to, right? The better and better that you get at this, and that's what spiritual self-defense class is every Saturday here in San Jose at the office. That's what we go over here, okay? But once you get really good at controlling this internal, then you can go ahead and take your internal state. Let's say you went and you did like a full hour of yoga, right? So you took external environment to make you feel good on the inside. Then you take that internal positive feeling and you start going out into your environment. Other people are going to react to your like calm state. You are then affecting the outside environment with your internal state, and there's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of power in that. But once you're here, guaranteed you will not be having complaints about your life nearly as much. The complaints about life originate from here. When we feel bad because something in our external environment affected us internally. Now, there's a lot of intermediary perhaps, steps to go from external world into your internal world. However, if you in general make a migration from this quadrant up to here and here, you slowly make your way out of being a victim of life and into creating, right? These are the squares of creation, and this is the square of passivity. So let's use this to chop up our experiences and dissect them, and so that we can kind of dull this emotional turmoil, so we stop getting spun around. The reason we get spun around in these circles is because it's not clear what's causing what, and as soon as we kind of delineate that and figure that out, that's when things start to make a little bit more sense, right? If you're not familiar with Existence First, we have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a Facebook page, in addition to this YouTube. So check out all of them. This handle is the same. It's Existence First. And every Saturday we do spiritual self-defense class. Now you might be asking, what is spiritual self-defense? It's not, we don't do like martial arts in here. It's not self-defense physically. It's self-defense emotionally. And why is that? Because the world around us is going on like at such a fast rate. At the same time, things are going on in our mind at a very, very fast rate. When the two of them mix together, all sorts of things can go haywire, right? But I believe that we, as the most intelligent species on the planet, we can use our mind to protect our mind. Sometimes our intelligence gets in our way. How many times it has your own ability to think of things that could go wrong in the future, or your memories, takes a powerful mind to remember years and years back. Memories of things that happened in the past, you carry that with you. And so now something a past external event is now creating a negative internal state in the present. So now another dimension of this is past, present, and future, which makes this even more. This is like that makes it like 4-dimensional, man. So this is what we need to do. We need to understand the mind to stop being a victim to it. We need to create our lives, and by creating our lives, create our emotions. Think deeply. Put your existence first.